I'm going to be looking at 9 different red light therapy tabletop panels, and I'm going to help you find the best one for your traveling needs. Okay, so really when it comes to determining what panel is the best for traveling here, it's simple. Weight and size are the 2 key factors, right? So I'm going to cut out anything that is over 15 inches tall. Straight away, you can probably see behind me, there's quite a variance in sizes. We're going to condense it down to maybe 3 or 4 panels, the most optimal panel size and weight. Then we're going to compare those panels from a price point of view, look at performance, look at warranty and all those sort of things, and try to determine the best one. Okay, so remember I'm removing anything over 15 inches. So I need to simplify it further. What I'm going to do now is remove any panel that is over 8 pounds, and that is including their stand. Okay, so that means the Huga Pro 300 is gone, the Mito Pro 300 from Mito Red Light, the Rojo 300, the Juve Mini 3.0, and that leaves us with 2. The DermaBeam 300 and the Infraredi Flex Mini. Okay, so first up, these 2 panels are obviously very small and very light. However, there is a bit of a weight difference in them. If I look at the specs, on paper, they're meant to be the same weight. I can tell you now that's not the case. I just went and checked them on my scales. The Infraredi Flex Mini is a little bit heavier than the DermaBeam Pro. The DermaBeam just feels super light. I mean, so does the Infraredi Flex after lifting up some of those other ones, but it is about 1 pound or 2 heavier. The Infraredi Flex has a height of 11 inches, the DermaBeam is 12.3, but they're both the same widths. Yes, the DermaBeam is ever so slightly lighter, but the Infraredi is ever so slightly smaller. So let's have a look at the LEDs. Now both of them have 60 LEDs. What's interesting though is the DermaBeam only uses 660 and 850 nanometer light, your traditional lights. The Infraredi Flex over here, that is coming out with 630, 660, 830 and 850 nanometer light. So it's got multi-wave technology, the DermaBeam doesn't. The Infraredi Flex also has an advantage over the DermaBeam when it comes to warranty. The Infraredi Flex comes with a 3-year warranty. The DermaBeam only has 1. Next up we have operation and controls. There is a physical power button right on the front, some touchscreen adjustment buttons, and a little timer. It's all on the front, and that's part of the reason why the panel is a little bit taller than the Infraredi. Infraredi over here have put their control panel on the side. Like the DermaBeam, you get a timer, a control panel. The Infraredi, it actually has a few more advanced options over the DermaBeam. So this panel does offer pulsing. You can also change whether you want the near infrared or the red light at different intensities. Something you can't do on the DermaBeam. What about stands? Well, both of them have built-in kickstands. This is part of the reason why I guess the panels are so light. It's just a metal bracket that folds out there. It's nothing special. The DermaBeam one's similar, but it's even smaller. I've noticed with the DermaBeam ones, sometimes if the angle's not right, it has just slid back. The Infraredi Flex panel is a little bit more sturdier. As you can see, it is quite a solid. It's much thicker stand on the back there, and it holds its place really well. DermaBeam one's quite loose and floppy, so if you bump it or the table wobbles, it might just slide out. But yeah, both of those stands, I mean, they work, right? You can see here I've got them in place and they're doing a good job. You'll notice on the back as well, there are some rubber feet. They can be removed if you don't want them. The DermaBeam has much smaller ones. While we're talking about appearances, obviously there is a color difference, but you'll notice that the DermaBeam has this little handle on the top. It is quite useful for just picking it up and carrying it about, but it does add another inch to the height. So remember, it's already taller than the Infraredi Flex. Then you've got that carry handle on the top. Again, it doesn't matter too much when you're sitting it here, but if you're packing it into a backpack or a little suitcase or something, all of these extra inches are going to add up. The Infraredi Flex doesn't have a handhold on the top, but when you spin it around, you'll see there is a built-in groove there to just pick it up and move it quite easily. It's a much better design. Okay, so what about power output? Well, the Infraredi Flex really shines here. I had a peak power reading of 65 milliwatts over centimeter squared with an average of 49. The DermaBeam was much lower at 47 and 32 respectively. That means the total wattage output, remember they both use 60 LEDs, was 18 watts for the Infraredi, more is better, and DermaBeam only had an output of 13.5. Pretty much as we go through this, I think the Infraredi has a clear advantage, but there is one last factor we need to have a good hard look at, and it could really change things around a bit, and that is price. So let's have a look at that. The DermaBeam 300 retails for $499, but you do get a 10% off discount code, and that code is Alex. They'll bring the price down to $450. Shipping's free within the States and $50 internationally, or thereabouts. The Infraredi Flex Mini retails for $550, so that is a little bit more than the DermaBeam. They have shared a discount code with me as well, and that is code Alex. However, it's only 5%, so that brings the price down to $521. But what's really good is they not only offer free shipping to the States, they do free international shipping, at least at the time of recording. Freight prices are going crazy at the moment, so it could change by the time this is published. So pretty much there's a $70 difference for American customers and a $20 difference for international customers. As we've gone through this little head-to-head comparison, like I said, the Infraredi is the better one. So if I'm an international customer, I'd happily pay that 20 bucks extra to get the Infraredi. If you're based in America, $70, it is a big chunk of money. You need to think beyond just the traveling and long-term here. The Infraredi Flex Mini, as we've mentioned, has more power, has a better warranty, has advanced features with pulsing options and the ability to change your power intensities of different LEDs. It's a nicer panel with a nicer grip. It is physically smaller, though it is slightly heavier, and it does come from a company that has been in the space for a few years now, and they've got a range of other panels that you could always tap into later on. For instance, if you want to get another one of these, or you get a larger one, you can clip them all together and link them all up. The DermaBeam is a newer company, and that one-year warranty is a little bit concerning. It is lighter if you are super weight conscious. I don't know, if you're going backpacking, for instance, and you want a panel. To be honest, if you are going backpacking, then I'd highly recommend looking at battery-powered red light therapy panels. I have reviewed them before. I did an extensive comparison. I think there were 6 or 7 different products. I'll put a link to that below. I should mention that's actually another good option if you are traveling and you are super tight on space, super tight on weight. Those allow you to use the panel for about an hour or two. The power output is a lot less, and of course it's a much smaller unit, so you can really only spot treat. You couldn't do your whole face or, like, you know, a big part of your chest. It's more just targeting, you know, that problematic elbow or that sore toe, you know, when you're traveling. You know what? After all of that, I'm going to go out and say that the Infraredi Flex Mini is the best tabletop red light therapy panel in the market for traveling. What do you think? Is the Infraredi Flex Mini the best red light therapy tabletop panel for traveling? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now remember, if you do want to buy one of these or any of those panels that I have looked at today, be sure to use discount code Alex, and be sure to subscribe, because I am doing a few more videos comparing the 9 tabletop panels. We're going to be looking at performance and beauty, and remember, I've already looked at the best panel for those on a tight budget. Also, check out the full review of this panel. I'll put a link to that below. You got lots of watching to do, huh? All right, anyway, enjoy. I will see you later.